Gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Lamborn, and I would like to extend my thanks to my colleagues, Mr. Polis and Mr. Lamborn. I think between our three congressional districts, we hold the vast majority of public lands in the state of Colorado. Appreciate the opportunity to be able to work with you on these significant bills, to be able to address many of the challenges that we have, and to be able to work together in a bipartisan manner as well. Mr. Speaker, thank you for allowing me time to be able to discuss this important legislation. H.R. 698 is a very straightforward bill, which Congressman Lamborn, Polis, and I have reintroduced this year, that confirms private ownership of 148 acres of land in my congressional district. The lands concerned were patented into private ownership via the United States land patents issued in 1914, 1917, and 1957. But their ownership came into question by virtue of a 1949 government survey, which erroneously showed them to be national forest land rather than private land. Long-held U.S. law specifically states that a government resurvey cannot take away private property or private property rights. Mr. Speaker, the Forest Service and the private landowner of the Elkhorn Ranch only became aware of the potential title issue in the early 2000s, and thereafter the Forest Service conducted a lengthy and thorough review of the matter. Upon completion of their review in 2014, both the supervisor and the surveyor of the White River National Forest concluded that ownership of the 148 acres should be confirmed in the successors in interest to the original patentees, namely the Elkhorn Ranch. In reaching this conclusion, the Forest Service noted that the land has never been managed as national forest land, and indeed has been fenced and occupied with stock ponds, developed springs, roads, and other private improvements, and has been used as private land for ranching and agriculture for the better part of the past 100 years. Mr. Speaker, this bill is a simple matter of fairness and equity to a private landowner to honor government land patents that were granted by the federal government to the landowner's predecessors 60 to 100 years ago. The bill is supported by both the surveyor and supervisor of the White River National Forest, the Garfield County Surveyor, the Garfield County Commissioners, the City of Rifle, Colorado Club 20, which represents 20 Colorado counties, the Piance Energy, which has a lease on part of the area. In addition, at the legislative hearing that was held on this same bill in 2015, the administration testified that this bill is a practical and workable way to address this long-standing issue. This bill is identical to the one that passed out of the House by voice vote in the last Congress, and I once again urge my colleagues to be able to support this legislation. And once again, I extend my thanks to my colleagues, Congressman Lamborn and Congressman Polis, for all of their hard work on this legislation. And Mr. Speaker, that concludes my remarks, and I yield back the balance of my time.